Welcome back to BOCA Raton. And in this video, my friends, we are going to be discussing a hot topic that I get asked all the time from people just like you. People who are looking to relocate down here to South Florida and they want to move to BOCA Raton because they heard they have great schools down here. It's nice, it's clean, but you're wondering like, hey, I'm on Zillow, I'm scrolling through, I'm looking at these houses, but I'm just blindly looking. What are the best locations for young working professional families in the BOCA Raton area? Well, stick around this video. I'm going to be giving you my top recommendations for people just like you, people just like me who had to relocate down here and find the best locations for them and their families. So starting with number one of the top areas down here in BOCA Raton is going to be the Golden Triangle area. This area is going to be south of Federal Highway, right above Palmetto. And what makes this area so special is that it is by far one of the fastest up-and-coming areas in the entire BOCA Raton city limits because of all the money and wealth that's flooded into the area. I personally know a few people, and what they say about living in the area is that they love it. And they love it for a particular reason. For one, it's an actual walkable area. So if you're coming from a city, you want to be able to walk to the downtown area, to the beaches, to the parks. The Golden Triangle area is walkable all the way to Meisner Park. And over there, you're going to have your theaters, restaurants, dining, a little bit of nightlife. Now, what makes the Golden Triangle so special? The people I personally know who live in the area, they actually like living there because it's a very walkable area. They're coming from a city. They want to live somewhere where they can walk to the theater. All the events in BOCA happen around the amphitheater area. And we just recently had a strawberry festival. I took my family, my wife, my daughter. We met up with a few people and they actually got to just walk to the area, but we had to go park in the garage and find parking. And now while parking is not that bad down here, this is kind of nice. You could just take a nice little bike ride or walk to these events. So you don't have to deal with the crowds and the craziness once you actually leave the event where everybody's leaving at one time. So the Golden Triangle area, you have Wyman Park right there, a very family-friendly park. Wyman Park is right there. You can walk there. It has like little playground areas, little events so you can, play outside, be by the water. A particular area that I like is actually the Wildflower Park. I've done quite a few videos around that park area. And that Wildflower Park, what it actually has like a splash pad. And it's actually very enjoyable because I like to just sit by the water, watch the boats go by with all these expensive yachts and people having fun on their boats. So your kids can play in the splash pad and you can watch the boats and just relax for a little bit. It's a very relaxing area in general. Now, houses in here, the cheaper houses that you'll see pop up on the market, a few years ago, you could get a deal in here between $500,000 to $600,000. However, times have changed and the people who are moving in there are tearing down those homes and building homes in the $5 million range. So the cheapest options you're going to get in the Golden Triangle area is going to be an older home, usually a two-story. A lot of these are two stories for some reason, and they're going to be about $1.5 million. So take that with a grain of salt, but you do get a very walkable area where you can walk down to Palmetto and cross right over and go to the beach very easily. You're in the downtown area, so if you want something that's very walkable, this would be the spot for you. Now, number two is actually going to be the area where I'm walking in right now. This is considered Camino Gardens, and it's a very unique area. If you look around me, all the roofs in here are white, so it's not a strong HOA environment. By the way, Golden Triangle, no HOA, just random houses flooded in there. This particular one is about $50 a month for your HOA. And I do know a few people who lived here. They bought in here a few years ago. Now homes are right around, the cheaper areas right around 1 million. They go to 2 million. Oh, and just like this area, in the Golden Triangle area, you do have A-rated schools in both of these areas. But just a side note, a lot of people who live in the Golden Triangle, they actually drive their kids to Pinecrest. We'll get to that later, but most people who live in the Golden Triangle with kids don't send their kids to the school that they're zoned for a Golden Triangle. So just be aware of that. But this particular area, a lot of people send their kids to the public school that it's zoned for. So Addison Meisner is a very highly rated elementary school. school. So the elementary school in here is very desirable. So people tend to send their kids to the actual elementary school that they're zoned for. And what makes the people who live here, what they tell me about the area and what they like about it, we could tell it's a very clean area. The neighborhood really takes care of its yards. You have these nice sidewalks that you can walk your kids around, ride your bicycle, get some exercise, walk your dog, and it's just an overall very well-kept area here in Boca. So the Golden Triangle, you have people who really take care of their yards and preserve the appearance of the buildings. However, every once in a while you go to a house that kind of looks like it's about to be a tear down and about to get bought up for multiple millions of dollars. But here, these houses are older, but as you can tell, they're very, very well maintained. There's definitely a pride of ownership in this particular area right here. All those schools are A-rated, so that's always a plus. A lot of people send their kids to the actual public schools who live here. Most of them don't go to the private school. And not just the neighborhood itself is walkable, but it's very easy to actually walk outside the neighborhood. So if you went down here to the main road, made a right, you'll go to a shopping center where you're going to have access to Walgreens, Publix, and, Trader Joe's is not too far away from here and is actually not too far away from the downtown area as well. You could possibly ride your bike to the beach within about 10 minutes, downtown about 10 minutes of a bike ride. So it's very well located in the heart of Boca in a very clean area. Homes around here are going to be the cheaper options are going to be right around $1 million, and they go up from there to about $2 million, depending if you're on the waterways. So this particular neighborhood, some of the houses have water access on the back of them where you can get to the ocean. And whenever you put a house near water, that's going to dramatically increase the price of it. A random fact about this neighborhood is actually built on an old theme park where they had all these animals from Africa running around here. So every once in a while when you're digging up the backyard to add a pool or do something, it's not uncommon to find like elephant bones or giraffe bones. So it's like digging into the past, because this area used to be like a wildlife animal kingdom before its time. It's even said Walt Disney himself went to the theme park that this neighborhood's built on multiple times. He might have been inspired to make Animal Kingdom off of this old neighborhood's theme park. So just be aware of that. You're going to be on a giraffe burial ground, or in Lion King was an elephant burial ground with hyenas everywhere. But this is a random fact. This is a very nice neighborhood, very clean, well kept together, and very, very desirable. I would definitely feel safe walking around here at night. It's one of those type of neighborhoods. Now, number 3, it's going to be one of my favorites and one that I am actually considered moving to myself, and that's going to be Palm Beach Farms. So in this particular neighborhood, you're going to find much larger lot sizes. So if you're very into having a larger yard for your kids to have a pool, playground, and just an overall larger yard, Palm Beach Farms is going to be your area that you're going to be looking to. It's a very nice, clean area, well maintained as well. Not as maintained as this particular Camino Gardens area, but a lot of families live in there, large lot sizes. So you're getting a much larger yard, still zoned for the same schools as this neighborhood. So a lot of families who live there send their kids to the public schools because you're going to be in a very desirable school district with all A-rated schools. And like I said, it's full of children running around riding their bicycles. So make sure you're paying attention, because it's not uncommon to see kids riding their bicycles through that neighborhood itself. And depending on how you like your neighborhoods, there's a lot more different style of houses in Palm Beach Farms. If you notice here, most of the houses are just 1-story white roofs, but over there you have 2 stories, you have newer homes, older homes. They're all kind of mixed in together, so you get a more diverse feeling of the neighborhood. This one's very clean, neat, organized. Maybe somebody who's really into finance will love this type of area, very well organized and everything's accounted for properly. But Palm Beach Farms is in a very desirable area, great schools, very close to the downtown as well. It's only about a 10-15 minute drive to the beach. You do qualify for the beach pass for there as well. So side note, all these homes I'm talking about all qualify for the yearly beach pass to all the beaches here in Boca. Some neighborhoods, if you buy into the wrong neighborhood, you won't be able to get the yearly beach pass that most people would want. So if you want to go to the best beaches here that are very exclusive and made for the residents of Boca, you want to make sure you're in the right neighborhood. That's why it's really important. Make sure it's the right area before you buy a house. house and you realize you don't have access to Red Reef Park. So definitely leave me a comment below if you have any questions about a particular neighborhood. Don't hesitate to reach out to me. I love helping people just like you relocate here because I know how it felt when I first moved here. There's all these houses all on Zillow and you just want to know what are the best locations. And that's why I'm here to help you. I got your back when you're moving to Boca, so don't hesitate to reach out. Now, home values in Palm Beach Farms. You can find some houses underneath $1 million, but they will need work. You can find remodel smaller homes around $1 million, and they go up to about $2 million as well. So very similar price as Camino Gardens, but you tend to get a bigger home there. And so you tend to get a bigger home there, but you get more freedoms to do whatever you want, because while this place does have a very low price HOA, it's still an HOA that is telling you what you can and cannot do. So this particular place, they will come after you if you break some of their laws. So was told by multiple people who live here is that they will get a little fine or ticket. Now, Palm Beach Farms, you don't have an HOA coming after you, but you do have very active members of the community that will report you if you leave your boat in your front yard overnight. So even though you don't have an HOA per se, you do have a very active community where they will report you for breaking the city rules. So just be aware of that as well. Number 4, it's going to be Paradise Palms. And this particular neighborhood, just full disclosure, I've invested into already. The reasons why I love it is that it's very walkable to the town center. So you have a sidewalk access all the way to the Boca Town Center, the best shopping experience in Palm Beach County, hands down. You're walkable all the way to Sugar Sand Park, again, just one stoplight away. So it's very well located between those two highly desirable areas here in Boca. It's not just walkable to those two areas. You're walkable to a Starbucks, restaurants, so Restaurant Row is being built up right there, Tap 42, and a lot of new developments are coming in all around Paradise Palms. So of all the neighborhoods mentioned, I feel like you get the best value in Paradise Palms. However, the drawbacks is that the homes are slightly older than even here. A lot are built, say, in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. So they are older homes. So some would need remodels. For the previous neighborhoods spoken about, so Golden Triangle, Camino Gardens, and Palm Beach Farms, a lot of homes have already been remodeled. Paradise Palms is now going that next wave itself is being remodeled because you can't really build anywhere else in Boca, so not all the homes are remodeled. Most of the homes in this neighborhood will be remodeled inside with quartz countertops, custom cabinets, and that is slowly rolling over more and more west because all these homes are remodeled. They're very expensive, so people are now buying out further, remodeled in the next neighborhood. So Paradise Palms is going through that phase right now, just like this neighborhood went through a few years ago. Also, a lot of those homes in there, they go very quick, so I don't really see homes staying on the market at Paradise Palms longer than about 2 weeks because the values in there are still, I don't understand, lower than the surrounding area. There's no mandatory HOA, and it's probably the best bang for your buck per se. It's probably one of the better values for your dollars for homes in Boca. So those homes go very, very quick. I rarely see homes sitting in the market if they're priced right. I've only seen it a few times when some random person is putting their house on the market for $1 million when it's not $1 million neighborhood yet. And the location is perfect because you're really close. You're in central Boca at that point. You're very close to the Florida Turnpike and you're very close to I-95 as well. And talking about be centrally located, another highly desirable area. And now there's a lot of great neighborhoods on this road. It's called St. Andrews Road. A lot of them are highly desirable. But the best one for families that I keep hearing about over and over that people really enjoy is Millpond. Millpond, hands down, is one of the best neighborhoods on that road. Now, Millpond is going to give you now to get into Millpond, it's going to be taking over $1 million, all the way to $2 million in that neighborhood. Now, what you get in there is slightly newer homes than, say, Camino Gardens or Palm Beach Farms, and the homes tend to be much larger. You get a lot of vaulted ceilings in there. A lot of the houses have modern features, large lot size, but a highlight that separates Millpond from all these other neighborhoods. So if you look around me, you have a nice tropical landscaping. However, in Millpond, what you actually get is a very tree-lined road that you tend to see in more northern climates. So a lot of the sidewalks are completely covered by trees. So during the hot summer sun, you got shade, while a neighborhood like this is going to be on fire with all of its, while a neighborhood like this is going to be very hot because you can tell everything's kind of wide open. The sun's glaring down on me in winter, so it's slightly cooler. It's like getting 60 degrees, but you don't have an escape from the sun per se in this neighborhood. But Millpond, your kids are going to be fully covered. They can ride their bikes. There's tennis courts. Now in that neighborhood, you're going to get tennis courts, playgrounds, and a lot of amenities that you don't get in these older neighborhoods that we talked about previously. A very family-friendly environment, always tons of kids running around. You have a nice little park in there. And now you're getting access to Pinecrest. So Pinecrest is actually on that road as well. One of the most desirable private schools in all of South Florida. So Pinecrest itself is going to be keeping your home values much, much higher because of the desirability to be close to that private school. As I said, one of the best private schools in South Florida, located right on that road. Your kids can practically walk there if they wanted to. Very close to the town center in that neighborhood, close to the Florida Turnpike if you have to go anywhere else in Florida, and 95. Very easily to get to the beaches. So if beach access is important to you, that particular neighborhood will make it very easy and convenient to get to the beach. When people go and they ask on online forums like Reddit, where I'm very active on there, it's always recommended for that particular neighborhood. The people who live there really enjoy living in Millpond. There's neighborhoods next to Millpond that are very similar, like Timber Creek, but they don't have the scale and the dramatic tree-lined sidewalks that you would get in Millpond. It separates it completely from any other neighborhood in Boca Raton, Florida. Now, if you're looking for something completely high scale, luxury, and you want to be in a very family friendly country club, and you don't want to be in a place where everybody's very old and not very kid happy, Woodfield Country Club is the best, hands down, country club for children in the entire Boca area. A lot of families live in there. I get to talk to the people who live in there a lot. They enjoy the playground area. They have a splash pad, multiple kids rooms. They have instructors that come to the actual country club to help educate the children, have events, summer camps. Everything is very kid friendly in Woodfield. A drawback is that you have to buy into the membership, the country club membership. That's about $100,000. The homes in there are quite expensive, so you're going to be spending, millions of dollars. But if you're looking for a country club and that fits who you are and what you want to be around, a gated community, a man-gated community, not one of those digital gated communities that everybody's practically just driving right through and sharing their passcodes, Woodfield is by far the best country club environment to raise families in Boca Raton. Now the houses in there, they come in wide array. You're gonna have a lot of diversity in the styles of houses. You have single story, multiple story houses, different ages, different complete architecture. You get Spanish, the Meisner vibe houses, you got modern, contemporary, you got all these different style of houses. So you have a wide variety of type of places that you could possibly live in. And what makes this very good is that it's actually still in the Boca city limits. So a lot of these country clubs are out in West Boca. We don't have access to the best beaches and the best parks, but that one is surrounded by parks that your kids can easily go to, and you have access to the best beaches here in Boca. All the schools that Woodfield is zoned for, just like the other ones, all A-rated, highly desirable. You got larger lots in Woodfield that you compare to what you get in some other locations. So it's very, very desirable in Woodfield Country Club. All right, so next on the list is going to be the Lotus development. So that's going to include Lotus Palm and coming up Lotus Edge. I have some videos right here. I'm going to put a link to them somewhere on this page so you can see what the Lotus developments look like. So if new construction is very important to you, and you want to be in the newest houses, you're going to be the first one who lives there, the Lotus developments are going to be one of the only few options here in Boca that are still being built out. I spent a lot of time, I visited people who live in Lotus Palm and Lotus, and a lot of the people who live there are young professional families. It's not uncommon to see kids running around. They have splash pads, arcade rooms, you have a pool, a kiddie pool, all this random stuff for children in the area, and it's very family friendly. However, you don't get a large lot, so you don't get a big yard, but you get a very oversized house. So if the yard is less important for you, the Lotus developments are a possibility for you. However, if you want a larger yard, unless you're paying for a double lot or a very expensive lot premium that can go all the way up to $300,000 in the Lotus developments, you're better off in some of the neighborhoods out east rather than in the Lotus development. But you do get playgrounds and other amenities in these Lotus developments that you would not get in these other older neighborhoods around Central and East Boca. Another drawback of the Lotus development is that you definitely need to look into about what beach passes you qualify for and if you're in the Boca city limits, because as of right now, according to the maps, you're not. So if you want to park in the South Beach area, you can definitely do that, pay for parking, or the South Beach Inlet. But if you want to pay a cheap yearly pass where you have access to all the beaches without paying $55 on weekends to park at Red Reef Park, definitely look into it, because it might be a drawback for you and your family. If you need to be in the most luxurious, well-known neighborhood with the most expensive houses, it's going to be the one with the yacht club. Hands down, you can get houses in there for over 30, 40, 50 million dollars. But for most families, young, working, professional families, the neighborhoods I list are the neighborhoods that you can move into, know that the area is nice, family friendly. Look at crime maps, see if you're comfortable with the neighborhoods that I listed. Talk with your agent, drive through these neighborhoods, and see how it is for you and your family. Most families are going to be fine moving into any of these neighborhoods. Overall, Boca Raton itself is very, very family friendly, very safe. They are pockets in Boca that can be less safe or family friendly, but you can look up using the crime maps. I'll put a link down below if you're interested in looking up crime maps in Boca. If you want to be away from young partying and teenagers and early 20s, you know, we have multiple universities here that some of those kids live in certain neighborhoods. So definitely talk with your real estate agent. They can definitely help you. If you need help relocating here, if you want to know what areas may be best for you and your family, and you want more information about a particular neighborhood or even ones that we went over in this video, here's my contact information. I love helping people just like you, because I knew how it felt when I first moved here. I had a daughter, had to worry about schools, what area was good, what one was bad, you know, how's traffic. If you need to know any information about the area, I'd love to help you. Just shoot me a text, shoot me an email, and I'll get back with you personally, because I got your back when you're moving to Boca Raton. And take care, my